Hey friends, Lois with Ellie Grace's Attic here. Coming to you this afternoon, I wanted to show you just a quick, easy 5-minute kids craft. Super easy. The kids love this, or at least my kids did, so I'm sure yours will too. I like to keep things on the frugal side. So today we're going to make a chalkboard, a travel chalkboard. And so I have a sheet pan. This is just a quarter sheet, 13 by 9 inches. I got this at Dollar Tree for $1. Hence the name Dollar Tree. If you've never experienced the Dollar Tree, you need to Google, find one nearby, and go check it out. Especially if you're budget minded, you'll love it. Okay, so I've got my sheet pan and I have chalkboard paint. This brand is Folk Art. Let me talk right. But any chalkboard paint will work. I've just happened to have this. I got it a while back at Hobby Lobby, I think. But you can find it in any craft department nowadays, or at Lowe's, any home improvement store. So I have my sheet pan, chalkboard paint, handy dandy sponge, which you can tell mine is pretty well used. So this is so easy. Your kids can do this, or you can make it for your kid. I did it with the grands earlier over the summer. They loved it. So all you do, dip your sponge in your chalk paint and paint. I didn't sand this or anything because you don't really want it to be rough. You want it to be a smooth surface for your chalkboard paint for when you write on it. So I did not sand it, and it may take a coat, and I'm just very gently, because you don't want it to smear, very gently painting it on, and I'm trying to do the same, same direction, because you don't want like a crazy you want it to be a smooth, you don't want it to be crazy textured. So that's about it. You see, it doesn't take long to cover the board or the surface, and I'll clean up the edges here in a little bit. Real simple. Like I said, under 5 minutes. It's under 5 minutes to paint it. Let me clarify that. It is 5 minutes to paint it, or under 5 minutes, but you got to let it dry for 24 hours before you can put the before you can write on it. So it would be cool if you did this in the evening, like after supper, before bed kind of situation, and then they could go to sleep, and the next morning, I think the next morning would probably be a sufficient amount of time, and then they can use it. So like a Friday night, and then Saturday morning they can use it, kind of thing. Teach them a little delayed gratification. All right, I'm gonna call that good. You can kind of smooth out. My edges aren't pretty, but anyway, so you cover it in the chalkboard paint. And I'm going to put, hold on, I didn't think this all the way through. Forgot to have my napkin out to put my sponge on. There we go. So we covered it in the paint, and when you're all done, it looks like this. And you can write on it with regular chalk. I use regular chalk. I've used white chalk, colored chalk. I haven't used the chalk pens on it. Just because you want it to be easy for them to erase. And to erase, I just use like a slightly damp paper towel. That's it. But this is really cool to take in the car because it sits nicely on their lap. and it's, it doesn't take up a lot of space. It travels well, it packs well. So, and you don't have to worry with chalk about them accidentally writing on your seats or anything crazy like that. So that's what's cool about it. What's also cool is it's also a magnet board. So I have we make these little clothespin magnets. So I just grabbed one off my fridge. It's also a little magnet. So if you have, I don't have any, but the little letter magnets or number magnets, that would be fun for them to play with, for your preschoolers to play with in the car with this. It's also good for older kids to do, instead of flashcards, they can do their multiplication tables on this, practice their handwriting with some chalk. So it's just a fun little thing, super easy. It costs $1, and whatever your chalkboard paint costs, most people nowadays, most moms have this, most crafters have it, chalkboard paint, but you can get a pint of this, or I want to say this container might have cost me $5, but I've had it. It's about halfway finished, and I know I've had it at least 3 years, so I've had it for a while. It lasts a long time. And the sponges, you can get a pack for 99 cents. So this really just it might cost $2 if you average everything out. So anyway, 5 minutes, super fun craft, easy to do with your kids, and it's got multiple uses. So until I see you again, happy crafting.